Good evening, everybody, or I should say good afternoon. Happy Friday, and we'll be right back after this short intro. And we are back. And look who I found.
Ha,
I have a guest tonight.
just for fun.
Yeah,
Might as well.
yeah, we're just fooling around. It's she wasn't ready for this one. It's like, let's have a little chat about morgues, embalming tables, and more. Oh my.
We still didn't get you on that one. Two investigations in, still haven't done it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Gotta turn my stupid flashlight off on my phone. Alrighty. So tonight's show, like I said, we're talking about morgues and embalming tables and stuff like that. And Kat, how do you feel about the morgue and laying in a morgue or laying on a embalming table? Do you think you can actually get more stuff out of it if you do that?
I think touching an object that has seen death absolutely can bring activity. Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
So that's why I think a lot of investigators do, try that as something that triggers it. You're being in the space, in the place where someone's body has been. Embalming table, it is technically an after death piece, so I don't know how much is attached to an after death piece. Same with the morgue. They don't die in those places, so I think it's kind of one of those interesting yet odd spaces of place to investigate.
Yeah. For those of you who might not know what we're talking about the differences between a morgue and a embalming table. So a morgue is where they put you and slide you in. So when they're done working on you, that's where you go before you get moved to a casket. And a embalming table is, hey Scott, how you doing? An embalming table is where they just kind of pump all the fluids in you, make you all nice and pretty just before you go into the casket. So that is the difference between the two. So basically, you know me. I've been wanting to lay on a embalming table for quite some time now, and I did at the Worcester County Historical Museum first time,
Yes.
and that was a wooden one, and it was old.
That is technically a cooling table.
Yep, but they did use it as a.
So it's slightly a different process. Hey, Denise.
Hey, Denise.
The cooling table does absolutely display and show the body, but it's not actually where they do the embalming with the embalming fluid because it doesn't have any of the place for drainage.
Right.
So the likelihood of that being a embalming table is a completely different process.
Yeah, it was a makeshift. I mean,
yeah, it's called a cooling table. It's where they would have displayed the bodies, especially if they were doing like a viewing in the home.
Hey, Patricia.
So it's just another one of those layers of pieces that serve a purpose in that part of not life.
Mm-hmm. And the kit was kind of weird. I mean, there's a lot of weird things about that goes into that stuff. And as time has gone on, it has evolved a little bit more and has kind of like a separate machine, which is at the Broadhead Manor. So, and that's weird because it's full functional.
Right.
Hi
to Scott and hi to Patricia. I've missed two so far.
But I mean, it's the morgue. I don't know. Do you have fears about laying a morgue? Let's say like Waverly Hills. They have a
the
morgue
only fear that I have is that I wouldn't fit. And then it would be maybe hard to get me out. Or if they slid me in and then the thing didn't want to support me. I don't know. That's my only fear. I absolutely would try all of the things because I'm interested in what the connection may be.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to be inside of a morgue or anything like that. So like, I have no idea how it's going to feel or be. I would love to.
Yeah.
But obviously there's people that have had some, Denise is like getting locked in one. As long as I know that I don't break it and get stuck in there forever, I would totally be okay with it.
I mean, like confined spaces. Now, I have some issue of confined spaces, but in the name of science, we would try it.
I would totally do it.
Hey, a little bit underwrite. How you doing?
It was up high. Like I have a fear of heights,
Right.
so like, I would not get one in like the 100th floor of a building if it had any chance of being near a window,
Oh
which
yeah.
is impossible. But like that would be my.
Okay, so,
But yeah, I don't have a fear of enclosed spaces. So I definitely would give it a shot. I know some people that have. Um, it has captured some interesting evidence for
mhm.
people, so it's totally worth the attempt.
I'm just kind of curious because I know a lot of people like to say they hear a lot of voices and all that stuff while they're in the bombing table, or a morgue. Sorry,
So
and
for me, I think that it's part of it is the space.
hmm
And when because like even when you're doing things like scrying or I'm going to go off on my little tandem of all of these connection things, when you put yourself in a space where you're limiting your senses, you're opening your other senses, so the
right,
likelihood of hearing more voices in there because you're depriving all of your other senses absolutely is a connection that's very possible in a space like that.
hmm
You're not seeing, you're not feeling, you're not smell, hopefully you're not smelling. That would be like I'm sure people get smells in there.
oh,
But
I'm sure you do get spells on it because my smell scent is really high. I mean, after having COVID, it has enhanced tenfold,
oh, that's funny.
which is
Opposite
kind of
of
weird.
most. No. No, it's taste, I guess, is taken away. It's taste that you lose.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, this is interesting here. What Patricia was saying. You know, it's a very interesting subject. I mean, it's like how do you go about your day if something were to happen while laying in the morgue? You
right.
know, I mean,
For me, the part that I find the weirdest is what would put a spirit in the morgue? What would put a spirit
wow,
attachment to an embalming table when they've already passed?
hmm
Because most times when you have spirits attached to a place or an object, it's either something that was dearly loved or something that was where they died,
right,
is usually where you find people. These people didn't die in a morgue. These people didn't die on an embalming table. Why would their body leave a residual energy in those places? But it
right,
seems to be proven over and over again that there are energies in those places. And I just find it fascinating because I don't know why they would be there.
exactly. I mean, when I was laying on the one at the museum, I was getting touched to my ankle. I got touched to my leg for some reason that I don't know why. Um, but I wasn't hearing any voices or anything like that. But I did. Ooh, dying on operation. Ugh. See, that's another one right there. Dying on an operation table.
Right.
I mean, we could throw that into the mix with this too. Good
Yeah.
point of view there. I mean, that's just how do you do surgeries knowing that people have died on that table? How does that give you confidence to even go do a surgery? You know,
Right.
heart was in a box. Damn,
I'm very curious as to what exactly that surgery was. A transplant? Do they?
it must have been. That's crazy.
That is. That is.
Um,
So I'm curious if Lil Bit Unright is like quadruple bypass surgery. Okay.
damn.
So I'm curious now because my dad had a quintuple bypass. Does that mean they did take his heart out and put it in a box and then put it back in? I don't know what my dad had five bypasses done. I just have no idea what the procedure is for that.
That's a little unsettling.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever. I don't know. Damn it, Lil on right, you got me there.
Yeah, that's wild. Things I didn't know. My dad had his surgery probably about 10 years ago and has been doing really good since. So,
Wow. Is it just like, do they take it out, put it in a box, they shine it up real nice and clean, and then
Shine it
put it back in? You
with
know?
silver polish and make it pretty? I don't think so.
Yeah, that would be concerning if I got a polished heart put back in my body. I mean, what's next? My rest of my organs? But
That's unfortunate. And
geez.
my dad still has an aneurysm below his heart, but that's not operable, so it's just hanging out.
Mm, that's not cool.
But yeah, back to like I think operating tables are more likely to have an attachment. Just saying, because people
I would think so.
tables and they haven't died in a morgue. I just kind of
Now
hospitals intrigue me.
that actually raises the question as to Bill, if you're watching this, why don't you have an operating table on in your haunted house?
Why are you dusting waffle cakes, Darren?
Don't know. Don't know. I must look like Dustin waffle cakes.
Okay.
But yeah, so in a morgue, yes, I could definitely do it if you probably keep it open a little bit. If you shut it all the way.
Oh, we would totally shut it all the way. You don't have a choice, Darren.
I mean,
Where are we going and doing this?
Yeah, I might freak out a little bit, and that's just because of my claustrophobicness. Hey, Becky, how you doing?
I have not, Becky. We were just discussing. I have not, but I very much would. I don't have a name yet. I'm kind of afraid of what it might be.
Right.
But yeah. But I absolutely would. I know several people. I know many people that have been in a morgue box. I just myself have not. I've only been in one from a haunted attraction, but that's about it. And that's not anywhere close to the same feeling. So
yeah, like I said, I probably freak out, but I would do it in the name of science and just buck up and just do it, you know.
And if the door got stuck?
And the door got stuck, you just kick as hard as you can and say, "Oh fuck, that's it, I'm done."
So would Becky do it? Has Becky done it? That's the question.
Yeah, have you done that, Becky? See, I don't think there's anything wrong laying on an embalming table. Like I said, if you get the feels of what's on there and stuff like that, I mean, they're already dead. But like I said, if each one of these, the operating table, the morgue, the embalming table,
Becky's volunteering William. He'd fit.
But they all going to have some sort of connection. They're going to have some sort of attachment to them at some point.
Right.
So now the question is, like we were talking about with a little bit unright with the operating table is,
Right.
when do you go in to sign your waiver form and stuff? Do you say, okay, can we get a cleansing done on the operating table? Before
they chemically cleanse them. Does that count?
I don't know. I mean, do a full ritual over the top of them. Say, okay, just go to work, and then
I am pretty sure nurses and doctors and cleaning staff do not do rituals at the hospital for you, Darren.
It all depends on what hospital you go to.
I'm pretty sure that does not happen.
Which doctor hospital might?
Oh dear.
If you find one, let me know where it is, because I'd be interested.
Wow. Yeah, Becky says, yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't do that in the hospital. Just saying.
Yeah, smudging. And I don't know.
Melanie is true. Cleansing is all in the intention. But again, I'm like, hey, how much of hospital staff is in the mindset of the people that feel like spiritual cleansing is necessary? So
right. I mean, down in the morgue, do they do that? Do they cleanse the morgue periodically? Just because, and all joking aside, you do have shows called Haunted Hospitals, right?
Right, for sure. But people die at hospitals all the time.
So now, do they do cleansings just because of the factor that they might end up having something that stays down the basement?
There's Patricia with the answer I expected.
Yeah.
Mama Pat.
Hmm.
So, like, funeral homes have a lot of history of being haunted, but the
Right?
people don't actually die there.
Right. They're just there to make them look pretty,
I would
and
love to live in a funeral home, just saying. But
oh, they're huge. They're huge places.
yeah,
There's actually a show on Discovery Channel that's about a family that moved into a funeral home.
I would love to. I would love to have the space.
It's huge. It's like 12,000 square feet.
I could manage that. I've got enough stuff here. I could fill it up.
But I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I could do it. Like I said, Waverly Hills, like we mentioned it before. I mean, that's got like was it a 6-tier morgue? I think like 6 places where you
I
can.
think so. Yeah.
So it's not that big because I know a lot of hospitals are a lot bigger than that because they got to be able to fit
Right.
multiple bodies in case there's just a massive accident and massive death. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But embalming tables, I don't find them as
Well, they're open.
they're open, yeah.
It's
So
it's just like laying on a table. There is just bodies that have been there. So
yeah. So yeah, it's just, but and I was like I said, I didn't really feel much anything at the historical like I thought I would.
yeah, one of my best friends is actually a mortician out in California.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got a lot of interesting stories of things.
And that that would be actually a good show. Actually, have bring someone that lives in a funeral home and just talk about it.
Yeah, would be.
You know,
She doesn't live in the funeral home though.
yeah. I'll have to look for a guest on that and bring him on. Now I'm intrigued as to. I mean, my wife's uncle, I believe, lived in a funeral home,
You almost had lived in a morgue, really?
and she said it was he went nuts. After a
Really?
while, he just went nuts. And her other uncle lived in this hotel, or not hotel, I should say, apartments that was at one point a hospital that turned into apartments. They had the swimming pool down at the bottom where all the morgues were.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we walked down there, and it's a really creepy, eerie feeling when you're walking down there by the pool, and just yeah, we didn't stay down very long.
So, based off of what we know about spirits, which is obviously very little,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that the energy that would be in a morgue or on a embalming table would be residual energy, or do you think that it would be intelligent energy? Because to me, I feel like it would be residual. You've left an imprint of that person, or has their soul already left their self, obviously, at death.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like,
I would say it would be
things.
residual.
I would think if there's a chance of there being energy there, it would be residual.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be anything intelligent because, I mean,
What if it's something otherworldly that's like the person that takes their souls when they leave? Halloween themed. Sorry.
well, maybe.
I'm watching Netflix movies, man. No.
No. Well, okay, so what would make that thing be intelligent? Would it make it intelligent if they decide to do a seance on the table or do a Ouija board session on the table? I mean, do you think then they can make that thing be more of an intelligent spirit attached to that?
Or are they bringing something in on it and leaving it? I don't know.
Right. Could you?
But are you drawing it in with any of your other equipment? Because like Ouija boards, that's another whole can of worms. Well, all of your equipment is used to communicate with spirit.
Right.
What's to say that me doing some kind of other connection with some other equipment isn't also leaving a bunch of open doors every time we do it?
Mm-hmm. And it'd be kind of interesting if they manifested a portal on top of one of these things.
Wow, Darren, you're going to go down that hole?
Sure, why not?
Careful, Darren's opening up all kinds of things all over.
Hey, Ouija boards, seances, portals on these tables, operating table. Yeah, what if it happened?
Right.
If it did happen, and say, okay, you're gonna have this surgery, but don't be surprised if something happens where something may come through in and out of this thing while you're having your surgery and might converse with you, happen to die on the table and say, "Hey, guess what? I'm here. I'm trying to say hi
Right.
to you. I'm just passing through." You know, not that I'm saying it would be a good thing. I don't think it would be a good thing at all, but
So you should have her on for this conversation. She's got all kinds of cool stories to tell. I'm sure of it.
no, give me time. Hey, I'll send a link. You get to see
Probably
my.
she has all kinds of stories to tell because this is
It,
intriguing.
come on, I'll send her the link.
Oh, now we're going to like buried alive instances. This is great. So that's why they used to at the one time tie the little bells. So you had your little bell with a string. So if you're buried alive, you could ring your bell in the graveyard to tell them that you were still there.
Don't mind me.
Don't mind you.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
You can see me.
Darren's being weird now. But yeah, I just like there's so many layers to the what ifs and what could be on why we would have hauntings on those objects. You know, is the residual space of the body being on the space in the space enough for there to be that energy placed there? I have no idea.
Right.
You know, but a lot of us, you know, a lot of the shows, a lot of things play off of the fact Darren's taking pictures of his screen.
I don't know how you can see me. I'm not even on the screen.
You are on the screen just enough.
I should have put myself in a shell.
Darren's in a glass box.
Yes.
But yeah, I find it fascinating to think like, is the energy with the body or is the energy with the soul? You know, because
Right.
why do cemeteries have people at unrest?
Right.
Why do you have communications in cemeteries? Why do you have communications at locations that people didn't die at? You know, how freely can they travel to and from? Do they remember being in the morgue,
Mm-hmm.
even though they're not in their body? Did that leave them with a weird energy that they have connected back to? I think it's just an odd concept of layers that who knows.
Only if you want to, Patricia. I just put it out there in case if you want to. If you haven't done this before, that's right. I understand. I buried alive would be freaky as all hell.
Right?
Unless
Right.
you give me some sort of breathing straw and then try it.
That's what Lori's offering is there's a pipe into the grave so that you can breathe just in case they buried you alive.
Yeah,
And that way you can yell for help.
I guess I missed that. Well, I don't know. There's just a lot of things a lot of variables and a lot of things that could go wrong. That's just me.
I don't think so much anymore. I think that older days it was more likely to have that happen than it is now.
Right. I mean, a lot of
There's
people.
a lot of
people are more
procedures in
careful.
place to make sure somebody's actually passed away, and usually enough days in between before burial that there's pretty certain whether or not they've
Right.
passed.
Yeah. I don't know. Now that we talk about that stuff, and now far as like, surgeries in the future wise, I'm gonna be asking, smudge that table first. Do something before you put my body on that table. I don't want to leave with attachment on my body after we had that surgery.
Pretty sure that's the least of your worries if you're going in
Oh,
for surgery.
oh yeah.
You can get cleansed afterwards, Darren. It'll be okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're assuming that those spirits really want to hang out with you too, but
who knows? I'm not an attachable kind of person.
are you trying to say nobody loves you? No.
Yes.
Poor Darren. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. So what do the rest of you all guys feel about it? I mean, would you do all this extra stuff just to see what it's like and just say, hey, I did it and look at me? Or more of, no thanks, that's not my thing, not my MO, I'm not going to do that.
If Denise is still on, I want to know if she would do it. Put her in a morgue. 20 minutes on your own, door shut.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lori, by the way. Lori's my favorite.
she's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of stuff to, you could just
Felix loves you. Felix loves you, Blair.
yeah. Hi, Felix.
I knew Denise would. She's my type of peeps.
Yeah, I mean I just I don't know.
Scott says
It's an intriguing thing. That's why I asked. I mean, I haven't done one of these in a long time. Just throwing a question out there and see how you guys felt about it. I
yeah.
haven't done it in a while. I've always had guests on for the last Mondays and Fridays, and I love having guests on. But I figured, well, today let's have an open concept of a discussion about morgues and embalming tables. So this flew off really nicely today, and I'm really pleased that we had this going today. So y'all here for me, and I'm grateful for it. So
yeah, so the next investigation you have with Scott, he's volunteering as well. So you're gonna have to pick a place that has a morgue so that you can lock him in.
well, we're working on it. In fact, a couple days ago, he actually, I believe, did a EVP session at the Eggins Cemetery, I believe. So I have not asked how that went.
We had some weird stuff when we were up there. I'm excited to hear about the possible extra burial site. So
yeah. So I'll be curious as to what he comes back with that, and then
I'm sitting in the wrong room to show off my Scott books.
Right.
Careful, Patricia. If you're sick in bed and you look like the dead, they might put you in a morgue.
Oh, that wouldn't be so good there. I mean,
not recommended.
Yep. Don't want to do that. I mean, I don't want to have the Reagan effect on the screen where you spin your head.
She didn't say she was possessed.
I know. She knows what I mean. I
don't know if anybody ever knows what you mean. Felix knows what you mean.
Probably not.
Felix understands.
Often I open mouth and insert foot, so get myself in trouble.
Oh my goodness.
Always. Well, I hope you feel better soon, Patricia. Thank you for coming on today. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it'll be intriguing sometime if you do get the opportunity to have more discussions on this, because it sounds like she's had a very interesting story to share. Very interesting.
Yeah, I can have her on as a guest whenever she wants to. We can do that, most definitely. Your son would be happy.
Does he ever get her on as a guest?
I don't know if he has or not. Would that be funny if I was the first one?
She's so fun to talk to.
But I mean, well, now Dom works in a hospital as well.
Okay.
I believe he's down in the morgue area now too. He made the move down there. If I'm wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong, Patricia. But I think that's where he's at. I don't know if I could even work down there in the morgue area. I don't know if I could. That would be a lot to intake to see all those bodies just come in the way how they come in.
Right.
I that would scar me. I think that would.
It takes a special kind of person to do that kind of work, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's kudos to them who want to work down in there, and it's been nerve-wracking enough to see those bodies at the haunt when you see them how they are at the haunt. And, they're just fake bodies that he's getting in for the haunt, Some of those are a little unsettling.
She has been on several times.
Okay. And maybe I have missed them. I'm sorry. Well, at least now she knows. I know she knows how to get on StreamYard, so that's a good positive thing. I don't have to coach someone how to get on StreamYard.
I don't know. You'd still have to coach William.
Probably. I'll have to get him on here at one point and see what he wants to talk about.
Nobody ever understands him most of the time anyways.
I'll just get a mic and just have closed captions underneath him.
Closed caption him.
That'd be funny. Just imagine all the swear words that come out. That'd be hilarious. So
I'm just curious if the people in chat actually believe that morgues and embalming tables have hauntings. Do they believe that they have hauntings? Because I'm still until I experience one, I'm still I have no fear of either because I don't know that there's a reason for them to have a haunting.
Mm-hmm. It'd be certainly an interesting show if they could come up with a show like that. I mean, why not? You've had um, Haunted Collector. You have
Right.
oddities and stuff like
Right.
that used to be on.
That's true. Attachments to objects.
Right.
But those are loved objects most of the time, or something that's a reason for them to be attached. Why? What's the reason someone would be attached to a morgue box?
Mm-hmm.
Lori. Closed caption for William could be just the name of the episode.
Right. That would be an interesting show. If someone could come up with a show like that for the hauntings of morgues and embalming tables, that would be cool.
Right.
I would be very intrigued to watch it to see what kind of EVPs they would get out of there, what kind of disembodied voices they would get out of that. Do they get touched and all that stuff?
So when you were on that cooling table at Washara and you got touched,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that was just the spirit in the room, or do you think that was something to do with the table?
I think it had something to do in the room itself. I don't think it had anything to do with the table.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I will. But I don't. Yeah, see,
he thinks it's the room, not necessarily the table.
That's how I feel. It was in the room because it was down by my ankle. Why would you touch my ankle, but nothing like physical body on the table? You know what I mean? And then at some point touched up my leg, but I feel it was in the room because the doctor's not happy in the room. He's kind of a grumpy guy, and then who also managed to make their way in there. I mean, for all I know, it could be Augusta coming in and touching my ankle.
You wish.
I mean, it's because she likes to run up and down that hallway.
Right.
So maybe she popped in, grabbed my ankle, and popped back out and ran out.
Right.
Who knows? I mean, when it comes to spirit, if we can make that determination as to who it was and what it was that touched us,
right,
that would be very cool. But at this point in time, it's just, who is it? What if? Could it even been a person? Maybe something not of this earth that touched me.
If we had all the answers, right?
Right. I mean, that's why the paranormal will keep on going as it is going, because there is no definitive answers about that stuff. It's all about getting names, places, actions, and connecting the dots and see what makes sense. And that's what the RTC does. That's what the spirit boxes do.
It's 3:33, and we've been live for 33 minutes and 33 seconds.
Wow.
There's your numbers.
Yeah. And that's a progression from 111.
But yeah, I still I don't think I would have fear going into a morgue, just because I don't know why they're for me, I'm mentally trying to analyze why would there be an energy in there. I could probably ask Richard Estup. I'm sure he's been in one. He's done a lot of medical stuff. He's a paramedic. What would I would feel like there's more likely to be an attachment to the stretcher they have in an ambulance than
I think Dan Norville would have a lot to say about this too.
Yeah. So, that's Becky's like, wow, I have been seeing threes all day. It just jumped up. I'm like, wow, 333 and 3333.
Right.
That's notable. So
I mean, I was comfortable. When we went to Ember Manor, I felt comfortable in that building.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you that many times while we were there. I was like, I'm comfortable. I was not insane. Yeah, come back to life. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be an interesting show. I feel there's not too much to real life shows about hauntings sometimes. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. So much of it's about the extreme drama of it that there's not a tie to the reality of what a lot of it is.
Right.
You know,
And I
I
think
think.
those would be more interesting, intuitive to watch
Mhm.
versus like we all watch a ghost team go in and do paranormal investigations.
Mhm.
That's all we watch. You know?
I wish that I was running not a digital recorder, a camcorder at Edinburgh when I'm doing the tours lately,
Hmm.
because I have had so many communications with my RTC box where I'm just giving the tour and Jerry is coming through and talking to people. It just happened again last night where Jerry came through while we were in the room that he's associated with. And then later we were up at the front and I still had the box running and a man's voice came through and they're like, "Oh my gosh, who was that?" And then it replies back, "It's Jerry." And they're like, "Oh my God, why is Jerry there?" We don't know. He didn't even die there. It
Well,
was
I mean,
home for a long time.
you could technically do that if you get like a tripod on wheels.
I'm not allowed.
Oh, okay,
Not
okay.
allowed.
I see
But
the
I
point.
just like it's mind blowing. He comes through now every single tour to talk to people. And it's not scary. It is absolutely one of the most heartfelt moments for me every single time. I get like excited, like, "Oh my God, it's Jerry. I'm so glad you're here." And that's not the norm with like most haunting shows.
Hmm.
And
I
most
mean, it was
haunting
cool when
shows
he
are
came through
fear and
in the child's room. He started talking.
yeah, because you heard it. It happened
Yeah,
when you were there.
yeah.
But is like if there was not fear like people create on the TV shows and they actually saw it the way that I see most of it, would the whole process of things be very different? So many people go in and they're like, "Oh my God, that's scary." And how do you be in a haunted place all by yourself? It's terrifying. I would be out of there so fast. And I'm like, they're they're just talking. They're just interacting. Do I walk into a building of people and be like, "Oh my God, you terrify me"? More likely with real people than with spirits for me.
Right, right.
But I just I think there's so much lost in the scare factor
Mm-hmm.
that we are missing so many things. There's so many people that are in it for the extreme scare and the extreme reaction and like the reality is it's probably peaceful for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, and I don't get scared too often when I go to these places. I really
So
don't
you say. So
because
you.
I come in with a open mind. It's a place. It's got spirits. Let's try and catch what we can catch, and come back again.
Right.
Uh, the boiler room. The boiler room, I could confidently say, kind of scared the crap out of me because like I said, I felt like I was gonna get pounced on in there.
The energy was different that night. So
That's just how I felt, and I don't normally get like that and feel like that, but I felt it pretty strong in that room, and I'm like, no, no, not today.
yeah, so there's different places in that building that sometimes feel a little more off than other days. Yesterday I walked in and I was like, wow, happy, peaceful, what the heck happened? That place felt so positive
Hmm.
that even when I got downstairs to the basement, I was like, it's happy down here. It is like bright and cheery, and I can see all the way down the maintenance hallway, and I can see the light in the boiler room, and I haven't seen that in a long time. I haven't seen that in a long time, and I loved it. It changed when the sun went down, but at that moment, the building was in such a peaceful, happy place that I just knew that everybody was happy, and like that was
Right,
kind of awesome.
and it's so funny because my friend's REP was there the night after we were, and I get a message like, "What did you do to this place?" I says, "What do you mean?" I says, "It's quiet."
Oh, wild! I didn't know they had a quiet night. That's sad.
Yeah, it was quiet. They said that the house is more active than the building.
That's weird.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that's just the luck of the draw you get when you go to places, you know.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, you pay to go at these awesome places and expecting to get a lot of stuff, but then all of a sudden it's quiet because the team the night before had a lot of interactions and stuff going on.
I think a lot of it also is what equipment you bring in. If you're not bringing something in for them to pull energy off of, you're going to get less.
Yeah.
Very strongly believe in like having EM pumps or running white noise.
Mm-hmm.
You kick on spirit boxes, not necessarily for communications, but literally to pump the energy and the white noise into the building because it changes the energy level of what's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, offering up, hey, I've got battery packs running, you can have some charge off of this. And it's funny because I was actually doing a live and my camera kept going in and out every time I offered them my phone for energy.
Right.
And my phone was taking a hit. I was on a TikTok live and my phone literally, they're like, that was weird because it just all of a sudden went blurry when you offered it. And I'm like, it is what it is,
Right.
But
And and to tie in with the stuff that we're talking about, the morgues and the embalming tables, Edinburgh has a casket
that's not related to the building though.
that's not related to the building. But do you think caskets can have attachments just as much as embalming tables can have, and morgues?
I have a casket in my garage. I'll go ask it.
Yeah, what?
I have a casket, a real casket in my garage. I'll go ask it if it has
Folks, somebody is waiting here. Okay, what's the size of it? Is it really big or really short?
No, I have a real casket in my garage for real. I also have a toe picture coffin in my living room as a coffee table right now.
Wow. Oh, here we go. Wow.
There's my coffee table. Bam. So I think we've lost all of our watchers. I've weirded them out. No.
Well, I mean, we strayed off a little bit, but I mean, that was, like I said, it would really talk about more stuff. So,
yeah, does a body being in a place make it have an energy? I don't know.
I mean, that's
what it comes down to. Does it or does it not have an energy? Can we borrow it? We are having a big Halloween party next Saturday. If you were closer, totally. We're doing my Halloween party tomorrow because my 6-year-old has dental surgery on Wednesday. So we're doing all of our fun tomorrow. So
there you go.
Or you can come party at my house. Patricia's welcome. Come on over.
She's got to fly it from Florida. It might be a big change for her, though. Although
I have another coffin out front. I've got 2 coffins and 1 casket.
Jeez. Isn't this weather interesting? Sleet on Friday and frickin' 72 degrees here today on Friday.
Oh, we're 80.
I mean, that's unreal.
So we had flurries like in the air at Edinburgh. Like,
yeah.
We saw them. We're like, what is this? I actually, yesterday, when I checked the people in, I showed up early because I opened the doors because yesterday was 65 and it was so cold in the building that I literally opened the doors to the manor so that I could let the warm air back in. And they walked in and they're like, oh, this isn't so bad. This is really, and they're like, oh my God, it's really cold. So everything that wasn't in that front airflow was like an ice box. But yeah, I'll take it because the more warm air in the building, the better, because we'll be there in November.
Yeah, see, I was all set to sleep in the manor, and
the building chose otherwise.
Yeah, it chose otherwise. It was freaking colder than hell, and I'm like, no, this is probably not a wise choice tonight.
Right.
So I have to.
If you would have, I would have. And I would have stayed warmer because I'm insulated and all.
I see. Honestly, I don't know where I would have laid. I mean, I was thinking about.
I could have picked you a lot of prime places, man.
I'm sure you could have.
I could have put you.
No, you know what? I was afraid of the boiler room. Probably told me to go lay down in the boiler room.
No, I'd have gave you a bed. I'd have gave you a room with a bed. I wouldn't have put you in the basement because there's no beds down there. And
I was thinking about the children's room.
There is a mouse down there. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about the children's room. That's what I was thinking.
Gary's bed or another one?
Probably another one. And then I was thinking of upstairs, probably in the red room was where I was thinking about going to stay there.
Red room would have been a place I would have put you.
I mean, that'd have been interesting to see what happens, you know.
The bed against the wall towards the back.
Hmm.
That's where I would have put you if I would have put you in there.
Or lay on a bed that was like facing the outside of the hallway. So all I do is I look up, I'm looking down a freaking hallway.
Could have made that. We could just put you in a sleeping bag in the hallway.
Well, yeah, that must have been
At the intersection in front of the red room where the shadow man is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be great.
but like I said, there's no end to end, bro. I can tell you that right now. That's an investigation place, destination for tons and tons of times to go. I don't know. I don't think you can ever really get
feel
sick
better,
of it.
Patricia. I hope you feel better, sweetheart.
All right. Yep. Feel better and speed recovery and happy Halloween. If I don't see you before then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I know
See ya, Becky. Everybody's popping off. We're good.
Yeah, we're getting to that threshold.
We are.
Becky.
I always enjoy when Becky pops in and talks to us. Love you, Patricia. Mama Pat.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. Showing the love. Showing the love. So,
Absolutely.
Well, go ahead.
Felix is also showing the love. You missed
Come
it.
on.
She did heart hands. You missed it. I'm just kidding. You're not paying attention very well, are you?
No.
She also got up off her little stool and gave you bunny ears.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
Would it? Would that scare you? We could have a whole talk about Darren and the haunted dolls.
If that sucker would move.
What would you do if that? Would you put Felix in a morgue just to see if she can get an attachment to bring home?
If that sucker move, I cannot promise you I wouldn't punt.
So if dolls are something that absolutely has been like over centuries been said to capture souls of people or to be able to be a vessel for a spirit, would putting a doll in a morgue or on an embalming table be a potential way to make a doll be haunted?
That'd be interesting.
What makes the vessel be chosen by spirit? Is it being placed in the location where the spirit finds it, or do you have to summon the spirit into the vessel? Or
like Chucky, where they sit there and take the doll and do some seance and chat and and put it into the doll before that sucker died.
Okay, so can Felix get a haunting from being in a haunted location? And would you put Felix in a morgue?
Sure.
And
I would have no problems with that. Shut that door, open it up, shut it again, open it up.
Poor Felix.
Has no feelings.
What if Felix does have feelings?
Well, then I'll find out. At some point, I'll find out. I'll probably get a slap in the back or something to stay there.
Stay there. So the next time I'm on live with you, I'll get my doll collection out and share my dolls with you. I have hundreds. Wow. My tiny collection is about 30 of them. I don't know if you can even see over there, about 30 of them that sit up on the top of that shelf.
Wow.
And then I have them on my stairs, and then I have more of them that are for Halloween, and then I have more for upstairs. And never enough dolls. I collect them. I bring them home because they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Does that mean you'll never come visit?
I'll be down there. At some point, I'll get down there. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what Felix does. At some point, I will bring her again to some location. We'll see what happens. See if I think it's attached when I bring it back home. I don't know. We'll see.
Your wife would not be happy.
No, she would not be happy. She'd strangle me.
She would, or Felix would?
She would. You goddamn you! You'll bring something back in this house, and now we all can't sleep because of your damn mistake you did.
As the doll runs up and down the hallways outside your bedroom doors.
Right. So,
take Felix back to Wishara to put her on the table there.
Yeah, I could do that. Try that. I'll take it on the 12th. We'll see what happens. As we come to a close here today, Monday, as a potential guest. I'm just waiting to hear back if he is going to want to come on or not. And then next week, Friday, would you guys want to do a recap of Edinburgh Manor and Broadhead?
Potentially, we're waiting to see what Wednesday results are. So
Right.
we
So
should be around. Should be able to have some evidence reviewed by then too, because I'll have the little one home most of next week. So
yeah. So stay tuned for those 2 episodes coming up. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. We can always make time for another week to come up and do it. So
says yes, please. I'm not sure what to. I think that's to attachments on Felix. I'm 100% sure that's what Denise meant. Attachments to Felix.
we'll give her time to type up again. So stay tuned for the next Mondays and Friday shows. See if I have guests on or not. If I don't have a guest on Friday, it'll be at this time again. But it was nice to have Kat jump in with me today. So.
She's on my team. Go team.
Okay. Sorry, well, we'll see. See what happens.
Oh, and the next week's show. Got it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, we'll see how things turn out, and hopefully Addie does well enough where she's doing okay by that time. And
yeah,
it'd be fun because I got several EVPs that I have shared with Kat already, and I have caught some more that I'm kind of confused on.
Okay.
I have actually not made it to the part where me and William are in the pool room.
I am looking forward to reviewing that double Estes session that we did. So
in fact, I think I sent that video to you.
Okay. I know we have a copy of it also. So like I need to watch that. I will make sure I do at least review that because that'll be fun discussions. So
yeah, it was very interesting. Very weird. Interesting. Yeah. In fact, my camera, for some reason, the camera took a picture of William, but it was like he was like really blurred.
Oh, wild. Weird.
That's weird. I wasn't like, I didn't move the camera.
Well, I will make sure that he participates next time with closed captions. So.
Oh man, we pick on that man so bad.
Oh, Denise wants to help listen to files. Is she bored?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can do it. I can send you some of those on Messenger. And if you want to leave me your email on Messenger too, yeah, I can send you his emails because I have all the files downloaded now.
Okay.
So it took me a while, but I did get it all.
Yeah, I started downloading some stuff and I haven't gotten very far just because I've been doing 500 other things. So.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Well, I thank you, Kat, for joining me for tonight's show. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It got a lot of great discussion today. I'm pumped about today's show. It was good.
It was good. Well, we always have the best guests on too. So
yes, absolutely.
Best people in chat.
And that's why I do this. This is geared for the guests and for them to come in and share their thoughts, and because they are part of the show, whether they like it or not, you are part of the show. This is for you. So, anyways,
yeah.
So I'd like to say, remember, you've been watching Paranormal Brew Network and BB3 TV Network. Also, if you do not have Facebook, you can join me on the MGS Paranormal YouTube channel. And coming soon, Paranormal Exposures might have a YouTube channel. So.
You're putting the pressure on.
No pressure. So, other than that, thank you, Kat, for joining me today. And I hope to see you all next week. And with that, I bid you adieu. Y'all have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.
So long, everybody.